What's up everyone, this is Winter Alliance and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create ambient sounds and textures and soundscapes using pitch shifting and time stretching of audio inside of Reason 8. And you don't need any external samples for this video. We'll actually be using really nice samples from the Reason Factory sound bank that everyone has, so you can follow along with the video if you so wish. This is something I like to do in a lot of my tracks, so I figured it'd be interesting to show you guys a little bit of my process whenever I'm creating these soundscapes for my own original music. Alright, so in order to find those samples, what we're going to be doing is navigating to the Reason Factory Sounds, go to the Other Samples folder, and then choose Chords, Phrases, and Stabs. And inside of here, there's tons and tons of different cool samples, like for example, there's these piano stabs. There's, I don't even know what this is, but... So there's all different kinds of stuff, and we're going to be using something, I think it's towards the bottom. I think it's this one. Right, there we go. So now all we have to do is click and drag that into the project. And then we've got our audio sample. Now I'm going to turn it down a little bit because it's a little bit loud, and it sounds like this. So there's several things we're going to do to this sample. First, we're going to time stretch it so it fits in the 4 bars, so it's in time with our song. And then we're going to cut this audio just about in half, so we just have the end delay tail of this sort of Rhodes piano sound. And actually, let's go ahead and change the snap here. There we go, that's better. All right, so let's turn this into a 2-bar loop. Let's go ahead and reverse it, and then let's close the browser, and we can begin editing our sample. So what I did first here is I reversed the sample, so now it'll sound like this. But the real magic happens whenever I decide to transpose it. So we're going to transpose it down a full octave, and then it starts to get really cool sounding. And then let's have a decay tail of the same sample if we go ahead and reverse this again. So now it sounds like this. But what I want to do is I actually want to have this play a lower pitch than -12, which would be a full 12 semitones down. Now, in order to do this, what we can do is we can bypass this time stretching, as it doesn't let us go past a -12. But if we use the pencil tool, create an audio clip, select both them and click Command J, or you can go up here and click Join Clips, which is somewhere on here. I don't know where it is. Oh, right here. You can click Join Clips, and it'll sort of create a new bounced version of the audio, and then we can even pitch it down even further if we want. This also works if you're trying to do positive octaves as well. So I'm going to go with -5. Let's go ahead and see what that sounds like. So I like the way that one sounds. So far, our sound sounds like this. Now you notice there's a little bit of a pop in between these two samples, so what we're going to do is add a crossfade between them. So if we click Command J again to join the samples, and then we can double click it, if we zoom out here, and we go to this right here, and if you click up here, it allows you to add a crossfade. The crossfade is kind of hidden within the submenu, but that'll help remove that little pop in the audio. So there's still a little bit of a pop, so let's add a little bit more. Okay, it's not wanting to cooperate, but you can kind of mess around with this and you'll be able to get different sounds out of it, and usually you'll be able to remove the popping sound. Alright, so to add more texture to the soundscape even further, what we're going to do is if you hold Option, you can time stretch the sample to 8 bars. Now one of the features I really like inside of Reason is the time stretching engine. It has a really interesting sound whenever you over time stretch audio, especially more ambient samples. It has all kinds of interesting artifacts and digital distortion created by the time stretching. So if we listen back to this, it has a really nice flavor. And I'm actually going to change the octave here. Let's go down to... There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and add some effects to this ambient sound. So if we go here, let's first add an EQ. Usually I like to scoop out around 500 Hertz, just to help remove a little bit of the resonance. So as you can hear, there's a little bit of a whistle, and if we scoop right there, it helps remove that. All right, so the next two things we're going to do is add some effects. So let's add a echo unit. Where is it? There it is. All right, so go ahead and drag in the echo. I'm going to turn off this filter so we don't filter down any of our delay. I'm going to turn the right offset up to 1/16, so it delays the right channel by 1/16. Bring this dry wet down to about right here. And what this does is it creates a very nice stereo panned delay sound. Let's turn feedback up. All right, so the final thing that we're going to do to this sound is add a big reverb to it. So if we go back to effects, I've really become a fan recently of the soft tube SAR reverb, which is right here, but there's actually one effect from the RV7000 that sounds really good for this sort of sound. So if we add in an RV7000, we go to the effects, there's Kick Bomb preset, which is this really gigantic reverb. If we look at it, it's a hall reverb with a size of 27.1 meters. I think that's what the M means. And anyway, it's just a really big reverb. We can put that at about halfway, and it'll just really drown the sample out in reverb, and it sounds super cool. If you want your sound to sound a lot wider, all you have to do is bring up this dry wet so there's more of the delayed panned delay sound, and it'll just increase the stereo width of your signal. So maybe even have a little bit of wobble or something to the pitch. So if our completed sound that we created sounds like this. All right, so that's how I make soundscapes inside of Reason. Again, any sort of sample that you can take the tail of it and create all sorts of crazy effects out of it. It's a really interesting way to create lots of ambient textures or soundscapes. And it can give you a lot of different sounds that you can't necessarily create with synthesizers, which is why I really like doing this in my tracks. So that concludes the video for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And as always, if you have any sort of questions or interesting ideas you came up with based on this tutorial, feel free to let everyone know in the comments, or you can send me a message on Twitter or something. I'd love to help you out, or just hear about the cool things you guys came out by using this technique. All right, and I'll see you guys next time.